How did I not see it? You didn't miss it because you were foolish. You missed it because you were shown exactly what you needed to see. One of the most challenging questions that survivors ask themselves is, how did I not see it? And I want to say something very clearly today. You did not miss this because you were stupid. You missed this because someone learned your emotional needs and reflected them back to you. They became emotionally safe, emotionally attuned, emotionally available. They mirrored back your values, your wants, your needs, your desires, your wounds, your longing. And for a while, it felt like finally being seen. The reason this is so confusing is because manipulation does not always end up feeling harmful in the beginning. It feels like understanding, rare, safe, or like we just connected very quickly. But sometimes what feels like deep compatibility is actually deep observation. They study what creates emotional access to you. If you value emotional depth, they become emotionally deep. If you value healing, they speak the language of healing. And if you've been unseen, they become intensely attentive. If you long to feel chosen, they make you feel extraordinary. They don't become your ideal partner by accident. They become your ideal partner by adaptation. The mirror trap is when someone reflects your deepest desires, values, and unmet needs back to you so precisely that you mistake emotional recognition for emotional safety. Being emotionally affected doesn't make you weak, it means you're human. Of course, we want safety, consistency, emotional intimacy, and finally, to be chosen. Healthy people are affected by emotional attunement because that's how bonding works. The problem wasn't that you wanted to be loved. The problem was that someone used it as their roadmap. A lot of survivors think, I should have known. Were there signs? How did I go wrong? But manipulation is not effective because it looks dangerous. It's effective because it looks like relief. It's relief from confusion, from loneliness, from feeling unseen, from emotional deprivation. And when someone walks into your life appearing to meet the needs that you've carried for years, it doesn't feel like danger, it feels like arrival. That's why survivors stay confused for so long after the mask drops. Because you aren't just grieving a person, you're grieving a version of safety that you thought you finally found. The tragedy of the mirror trap is that eventually the reflection changes. You start to see inconsistency. You might start to observe withdrawal from the relationship. They might start to become defensive. They might start to withdraw emotional intimacy. They may even start to lack accountability. The person who what seemed deeply attuned suddenly can't understand your pain at all. And then you start chasing the beginning, the connection, the version of the person that you first met. You spend the rest of the relationship trying to get back to the person you met in the beginning, only they were never real at all. That version was often a strategy, not a stable identity. Healing begins when you stop asking, how could I have been so foolish? And instead ask, why was I vulnerable to someone who mirrored my unmet needs so precisely? Self compassion is not a lack of accountability, and discernment still matters. Healing means learning to slow things down. The goal is not to become cold, the goal is to become discerning. You were not foolish for wanting connection, you were human. And understanding the mirror trap is not about becoming fearful of love. It's about learning the difference between being deeply seen and being deeply studied. You deserve relationships where clarity and safety exist together. So tell me in the comments, is this something you've ever experienced? And if you're interested in learning more about manipulation patterns, emotional clarity, and healthy discernment in relationships, subscribe to the channel. This is Camille with Relational Clarity. See clearly, love wisely.